Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Madison Ginley, if you don't already know. Real quick, excuse this in the background. This little one, you know what you did. She peed on the couch yesterday. I went to go pick up my car in Miami and she's a little scared of Tyler. She's a little scared of Tyler, my boyfriend. For some reason, she's scared of men. The home before us just wasn't the best for her situation. So, you know, for some reason, she's scared of men, and he went to take her out and she peed all over the couch. So we're washing the cushions, so ignore all of this going on. Come up on here, sit with mommy. Sit with mommy. I finally got my camera. It came yesterday, so get ready for all the videos. I have a bunch of stuff planned. Today's video is going to be a story time, and I'm really excited for this because I've never done one of these, like an actual sit down, like tea story time video. It might get a little crazy and a little serious, but I feel like I'm ready to talk about it. So we are going to be talking about my old apartment complex. If you don't already know, I moved from Miami about a week ago due to a lot of circumstances, and a lot of people are like, oh my god, like why'd you move out so fast? And at the time I really couldn't explain it because I was in fear of my safety. I felt like I couldn't share it yet. And my other little baby. This is my baby T, good boy. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so I signed up for a year lease, and that's why a lot of people were confused, because usually when you get an apartment, it's usually like 6 months to a year. And I mean, I was so excited to move to Miami. Like, I announced it all over the place, plastered it on every one of my social media accounts. I was super excited, and that's why some people were confused, because I moved out so fast. And I did. I moved out within like 3 months. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, if you didn't like the apartment, then why'd you move in, and da 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 da. I kind of just got it super fast because my lease for my Vegas apartment was ending. And I already went out to Miami prior to this. And if you don't already know, I mean, traveling, flying, like booking a hotel, like, cause I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of time and a lot of money. I had to leave Vegas, leave everything, leave my work to go look at places. And I was told by somebody, like, it's better to look at them like a month in advance, not like 3-4 months in advance, because places in Miami go super fast. So if I liked it, like, I would need to move in right away, and my lease wasn't ending. So I waited like a month or two ahead of time. I looked at places, and the first time I went out to Miami, I didn't find any, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go out again in a couple weeks. So the second time I went out, that's when I found the current place, the place that I was living in, the high rise. I picked that one because of the view and the location. The location was really good. It was across from the American Airlines Arena. I could share it now since I'm not living there anymore. And like, there was just so much going on. There was a million places and things to do. My apartment complex specifically, there was stores and restaurants literally in the building. So if you need something, like, the convenience was really nice, and the price of it was cheaper than my last apartment. So I was like, okay, like, you know, maybe this is a good thing. But the actual apartment, I had doubts. And when you're looking for an apartment and you're moving, if you have any doubts, like if you have anything in your mind telling me, maybe I don't see myself living here, don't move there. Like, listen to that gut feeling. Listen to that inner voice inside your mind telling you that it's not a good idea. Even when I was like touring the apartment, I was still like, I don't know, but this is like the only good thing, because we looked at like 5 and I didn't like any of them. And maybe if I would have picked another apartment, then it would have been different. I would have still been living there, but I'm so happy where I'm at right now that, I mean, it was for a good reason. Like, everything happens for a reason, I truly believe. So yeah, the first night that I moved in that apartment, I was sitting there looking around, and I'm just like, I am not like, I'm not feeling it. Like, you know, I thought like maybe I could decorate it to make it look more like me and feel like me, but there's only so much you can do. And if you don't like it 110%, then don't do it. I tried to stay positive. It wasn't like, you know, I was like, oh damn, like this is gonna suck. Like, you know, I always try and make situations positive. So I tried to stay positive and I was like, no, like, you know, it's gonna be okay. There was still like a cloud over my head. Like I just felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. So after about maybe like a week or two, weird things started happening. Yeah. I met the landlord a couple times. I met him during the tour and then I met him during the walkthrough, and he knew nothing about me. Like, I didn't tell him anything. I didn't get personal with him. You know, I was never alone with him. Like, it was strictly like business related, and that's how it should be. He started like texting me randomly, calling me late at night. I just started feeling really uncomfortable. I would tell Tyler and I would just be like, okay, this guy's like starting to act really creepy, and Tyler's like, no, he's just being friendly, it's no big deal. And I just like didn't think anything of it. And he started asking me out to dinner. He started like wanting to come over all the time. And first of all, like, in every lease, mostly every lease, you have to give the tenant 24 hours notice to come over. And this guy, he'd be like, oh, like I'm here in town now, like let's go get lunch, let's go do this. And he'd be like, oh, I want my mail. And I'd be like, okay, that's fine, like I could mail it to you. He's like, no, I'll come up and get it. And I'd be like, okay, well I'm busy, so I'm just gonna put it in the lobby. And he's like, no, I wanna come up and get it. If he wanted to do an inspection on the apartment, because that's understandable, like it's his place, and if he wanted to go like look it over and like see, like I understand that, but okay, don't be on some weird creepy shit. Like follow the rules and, you know, come over, like give me a 24-hour notice and come over on the lease's terms. Like it just made me really uncomfortable, the stuff that he was doing. And then it gets even creepier. He found me on social media, which, I mean, my social media, like it's public, like you could just search someone's name and find it. But he started like making comments about my pictures and like what I was doing. And at this point I'm just like, okay, this is definitely some creepy shit. At this point I felt so uncomfortable. There has been a lot of suspicions that he had cameras in my apartment. And I'm like getting chills. Like I would be watching like a certain show, he would like turn off that channel for like a couple days and then he would turn it back on. Weird stuff. He would know when I was home. He would only call me, only ask to come over when I was home. And the apartment started to fall apart, literally. I fell 2 times because the fridge leaked all the time. None of this was mentioned in the lease. Washer and dryer never worked. We would just be doing like the same load for days and days and days because it would fill up with water completely, and then the load in the dryer would sit there and it'd be stinky, and we would just be like doing it over and over again. The fire alarms would randomly go off. Like we couldn't even have the fire alarms plugged in because they would just go off. Like once you plugged it in, it would just be like beep, beep, beep. It would go off like constantly. Since it's a high rise, there's like a security alert alarm, and it would go off like randomly, even though like every single time it was a false alarm, it would go off. They would do testing of that in the middle of the night. Like it's 4:30 a.m. on a Sunday, and like it's so loud it wakes you up. And speaking of the staff and the whole like high rise, they were so rude. Like from the beginning, the first thing that they tried to do was like, I had my U-Haul parked in the garage area, and they put a boot on it, and they're like, you have to pay $170 to get it off. And I'm like, wait, like there was no rule about that. Like nobody told me anything. And like this was my first impressions of the place. So I was like, wow, like coming from my old apartment complex in Vegas, like they were so sweet and like always so friendly. And just to say, the people who crashed my car, if you're wondering about that, it was the valet. It wasn't the apartment complex, it was the valet of the apartment complex, just if you're confused about that. But yeah, they were just so sweet. And then coming to this place, like I couldn't even unload my car with groceries because they were trying to like charge me $10 to park there for 15 minutes to unload my car. And I'm like, I'm a resident here. Like, I rent out a apartment, and they're like, yeah, you still have to pay, and just like trying to scam, like trying to fine you for everything. If you stayed in the gym past 10:30, they could charge you, like they would fine you, like you couldn't leave anything, like even like a welcome mat outside your apartment, or they would fine you, and they would be on your ass like instantly. And it was just so like uncomfortable to live, and it's like they were trying to push people out, and it was just a really bad experience and like start to, you know, the new year and just like my whole view of Miami in general. And it was just, it really like tore me down. And besides all of that stuff that was going on, I had so much going on at the time. Both of my parents were in the hospital. I just found out I couldn't release any of my leggings anymore because I was being threatened by another company, even though we use the same manufacturers. That's a whole other story. And so much more personal stuff was going on. And just in general, I didn't like the apartment complex. Like even before all the weird, crazy, creepy stuff started going on, I just wasn't happy. And I just knew that I wasn't gonna be dealing with this for the next 12 months. Well, 9 months. And I knew I had to get out. I knew I couldn't stay there any longer. And I talked to my landlord, and I pretty much told him, I didn't say any of the creepy stuff because I knew if I brought that up, he would be mad and he wouldn't let me leave. So I was just like, hey, like, the washer and dryer doesn't work, dishwasher, like the fridge leaks all the time. I almost felt like I'm not happy, like the staff, you know. And luckily we made a deal, and I had to pay him a certain amount of money to leave, and I literally paid it, and I was gone within a week. I looked at this house that I'm in. I looked at another place as well, and I just fell in love with this one, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna move. And it was that fast, and we literally packed up our stuff and left. And I'm so happy to be out of Miami. I'm so happy to be out of the apartment complex. I'm so blessed enough to be able to just get up and leave. I feel so blessed because the space that you're in has a huge impact on people's mental health. Like, and if you're not happy in the town that you're in, or the home that you're in, or whatever it may be, money or not, you can still figure out a way to leave. Save up that money and get out as fast as you can. I would have just been down a really bad spiral. I was living there for 3 months, and it was probably the most unhappy I've been in a long time, and like openly unhappy about it. Speaking of being unhappy and like off my grind, I mean, Miami is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely overhyped. It's not a place to live, in my opinion. It's a vacation spot. I mean, I couldn't even go to the gym. The gym that I went to was up in Brickell, so parking was $12, or one-way scooter was $6, and the other way was $6, and it would just $12 every day for parking. Everyone, mostly everyone, I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people in Miami are snobby and rude and disrespectful, and all they care about is their status and how much money they have, and materialistic stuff. Like that's not me. Like you know, you would smile at someone and they would like look away or like give you a dirty look, and it just got to the point where I started acting like that towards people because just being around it like really came off on me, and I started being bitter, and I was like, okay, like I cannot do this right now. Like the busy lifestyle of Miami is not for me. I was blessed enough to move blindsided to Vegas for my first apartment. I moved blindsided to my other apartment, and I was happy in both places. But the people compared to Vegas, the people in general, they're not nice at all. So if you really need like positive, happy people, I mean, Miami is not the place at all. Like the only nice people there are the tourists, and there wasn't even a lot of them where I was living. And especially being in another high rise, for me, I just feel so trapped and disconnected from the world because, first of all, my parking spot was 8 floors up. So going up 8 floors every single time, up and down elevators. Leia had no yard. She has like PTSD really bad. So all the like the people and the cars and the scooters and the motorcycles and the busy street that I was on, it wasn't the best for her. She had no yard. I had no place to just go and relax. Like it would take you like 10 minutes to get down into the lobby, and then 5 minutes to go to, like, It was just not ideal, and I can't believe I moved in another high rise. I was 40 floors up. Like that's, I mean, you're so high, and I already was in a high rise last year, and I started getting sad. Like you just feel super isolated, and it just wasn't for me. And I felt my happiest when I was living at my parents' house and in actual, sorry guys, I ran out of space. And I felt happy when I was living in Vegas. I was in an apartment still, but I was on ground level, so I could just walk outside and be outside. And I can't even begin to express how happy I feel in this apartment. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and I feel exactly like, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Like I'm finally headed to the right track for happiness, for growth, for my business, myself. I'm so excited for what's to come. I've only been here for a week, and I knew it would make me happier. I knew deep down inside my soul I needed to be away from all that. I needed to be where, you know, it's a smaller town with friendly, kind people, where everything is cheaper and everyone's just more open-minded, and I'm on the ground level. I can just walk outside and be outside. I have so much more independence and responsibility, and I just feel so happy. And when I was living in those high rises, I always wanted to do more. Like I needed to do something. I needed to go travel. I wanted to go to Cali, go to Bali, go to fucking Mexico. Like I needed to leave, and I always felt like I needed more, and I needed to go, and I feel at peace finally. Like I feel really good. And there's a lot more I have to say about this, but this video already is pretty long. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and being here with me in another video and supporting all my stuff, social media, my business, everything, even you leaving a like and a comment. Like that just, it makes me really happy, and I just appreciate it all so much. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. You guys can follow me on my other social medias, because I do post there every single day. And get ready for all the videos that are coming. I'm about to do a house tour today. I just have to clean up a little bit to make it like more healing, because right now I have a lot of stuff all over the place still. I have to do more organizing, run some errands, and then I'm gonna film it. But yeah, thank you guys again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Okay, bye.